Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question was suggested by a viewer. Thanks to Almagdav for this one. Amy doesn't control any armies, and she plays Swarming of Moria, while she controls Peregrin Took. How many food tokens does she get? Okay, so to answer this question, we're going to need to know a little bit about how replacement effects work. We can tell that Peregrin has a replacement effect because it uses the word instead. Anytime anything is about to happen in the game, you first have to check to see if there's any replacement effects that want to interact with that event. The other important fact that we're going to need to know is that because amass orcs is in a separate sentence from the part where you create a treasure, that means that the resolution of this spell involves doing these two actions as two distinct steps, one after the other. Officially, what's happening in the game is first Amy creates a treasure token, then she creates an orc army. Because this is two separate instances of creating a token, Peregrin Took will interact with both of these and Amy will end up with 2 food tokens. Contrast that with what we see on Farmer Cotton. This ability does not have separate sentences or clauses for each type of token. Therefore, we can say that with this card, we aren't making the tokens in multiple distinct steps, but all at once. Because we only have one instance of one or more tokens being created, Peregrin will only give you 1 extra food token. So if you activated Cotton for x equals 5, you would get 5 halflings and 6 foods. To close out, I'd like to take a look at a related situation that I got from my colleague Mia. Suppose that there was an Academy Manufactor in play while all this was happening. What would be different? Well, with the Swarming of Moria example, let's take a look at both steps of its resolution in turn. First, we'll create a treasure. Both replacement effects want to apply to this, and Amy gets to choose the order that they apply. If she applies Academy Manufactor first, getting the treasure will be replaced by getting a clue, a food, and a treasure. And then that will be replaced by getting a clue, 2 foods, and a treasure. The other order is more profitable for her though. Applying Peregrin first will change getting a treasure into getting a treasure and a food. Unlike Peregrin, Academy Manufactor does not say 1 or more. It's worded such that it applies to each token you're creating, not just once if you're creating multiple tokens at the same time. Accordingly, applying Academy Manufactor at this point will replace each of those tokens with a clue, a food, and a treasure. So Amy will end up with 2 of each. In either case, both replacement effects have applied, and once they've both applied, that's the end of the story. A replacement effect can only apply to any individual event once, so even though there's been some new tokens added into the mix since the first replacement effect applied, which might make it look like they could apply again, this rule says we can't do that. After the first step in the resolution of Swarming of Moria, the next step is to create the Orc Army token. Remember how we said that the 2 tokens are created in 2 separate events, not all together, meaning that even though both replacement effects have already applied to the event of creating the treasure, they still both can apply to the new event of creating the Orc Army. Except actually it seems like only Peregrin can apply to this event. Academy Manufactor only cares if we're creating a clue, a food, or a treasure, and that's not happening here. So we'll apply the Peregrin to that event that's happening, and that's going to replace it into getting an orc army and a food. Now here's the cool part. After each replacement effect applies, the game checks to see if any other replacement effects apply to the new modified event. Now that the event that's happening in the game does include creating a food token, Academy Manufactor can apply to it. This means that after both replacement effects have applied, Amy will be creating an orc army, a clue, a food, and a treasure. Add to that the 2 clues, foods, and treasures that Amy already made in the last step, and we're looking at a bunch of tokens. Finally, let's see how this would work with the Farmer Cotton scenario. The ability will start out trying to create 5 halflings and 5 foods. Since both replacement effects can apply to this, Amy will pick the order. If she applies Academy Manufactor first, that will modify the event into 5 halflings and 5 of each other kind of token. Then Peregrin will add on a 6th food at the end. Again, it would be better to apply Peregrin first. This will yield 5 halflings and 6 each of clues, foods, and treasures. But that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again next time for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.